What's up guys, Nepenthes here and welcome to episode 2 of my Race to a Century series, which is a series where I pit myself against Calfreezy, and basically the idea is to the first one to 100 wins. The idea behind this series, however guys, is it's a typical Road to Glory with a twist. The twist is the fact that we are only allowed to buy packs with coins. We can sell things from the packs, things that we get from the packs, but we are not allowed to buy things from the trade pile. So yeah, it's interesting. It's going to be, I thought it was a series that would take a long time. It's going to be 20 episodes because it's 5 games per episode. So some episodes are going to be real long, like this one, you know, almost 13 minutes or just over 13 minutes. And some episodes are going to be a little bit shorter because sometimes you won't have any packs and stuff in the episodes. But today I've got quite a few pack openings and just shuffling the team around, trying to get the best chemistry possible. I don't have great chemistry at the moment. I've been really unlucky in the packs that I've been buying. And just literally I haven't even got any rare players. I've got one rare player, even though I've probably bought about 3 or 4 1500 coin packs so far, so that's pretty annoying. But I'll be perfectly honest with you guys, it's so much fun playing against these terrible bronze teams, you know. It's just, it makes you feel so superior at the game, even though you know you're playing against people that have probably never played Ultimate Team before, don't understand how chemistry works and stuff. That first match there you saw guys, I was getting absolutely dicked by that guy 5-3. Fortunately for me, his connection went. This means that I didn't get the win, but I didn't get a loss, so my record is still 5-0 after that game, which is where I show you here. I just want to thank you guys for the support and feedback of the last few videos. Of course, as per usual, you guys are absolutely amazing. By the time you're listening to this video, I'll probably be just past 38,000 subs, which is insane. It's amazing, it's crazy. I never ever thought I'd get this far. Also today guys, well yesterday, as you guys are listening to this, we had the FA Cup final and Arsenal played Norwich. I'll start with the FA Cup final. So we had Chelsea against Liverpool. It was a really interesting game, and I say really interesting, it wasn't really interesting. It was just, it was a weird game because the first half, probably even the first 55-60 minutes, Chelsea absolutely dominated the game. They were all over Liverpool. Liverpool looked an absolute mess and were lucky to only be 2-0 down after, you know, 65 minutes. But then Liverpool brought on Andy Carroll and he just absolutely transformed the game. I've never seen, like I said, I've never seen anything like it. I've seen things like it many times with substitutions, but I've never seen anything like it from a player who's having such a torrid time as Andy Carroll. You know, he's barely scored this season, but he comes on, he bags himself a superb goal and almost scores an equaliser in the 85th minute, but for a sensational Petr Cech save, and Chelsea ended up running out 2-1 winners, probably just about deserved, although they were under pressure for much of the second half. But it was really interesting, and Chelsea obviously won the FA Cup, which is a trophy for them. Now, depending on how the next few days go in Premiership football will depend on whether or not I want Chelsea to win the Champions League. So what we've got guys is Arsenal are third currently, 2 points clear of 4th place and 5th place, Spurs and Newcastle, but Spurs and Newcastle both have a game in hand. And Arsenal drew 3-3 with Norwich today. It was one of those games that was just, again, back and forth, and it was so open. Arsenal went 1-0 up in 65 or 70 seconds, Ben Ayoun scoring, and then Norwich just put the heat on. They destroyed Arsenal in the first half. They eventually picked up a deserved 2-1 lead, and they were controlling the game. You know, Szczesny looked out of sorts. Our defence in general today just looked really poor, really bad. Vermaelen played quite well, Koscielny not so well. Gibbs was all over the place, and Szczesny just didn't look himself. Like, every time he had the ball, he kicked it out of play. He nearly kicked it against Grant Holt to put it back in the back of the net. It was just very shaky, and it wasn't great to watch. But the last sort of 20 minutes of the game, from 70 minutes onwards, Norwich just died. You know, like, they can't keep that sort of tempo up for 90 minutes, and it showed. And Van Persie came in to score 2 amazing goals, in the sense that it put Arsenal 3-2 up. Not amazing in the sense that they were actually world-class goals, because they weren't But Alex Song again to get Van Persie's first and to make it 2-2. The ball that he played was just incredible, and I know I use that word a lot, but it was incredible. The amount of assists he's got to Van Persie is out of this world. So that made it 2-2, and then in the 80th minute Van Persie made it 3-2, and I thought that was it. I thought we'd go on and win it, maybe even 4-2 or even 5-2. But Norwich pulled back. You know, we had a penalty shout, a clear handball that should have been a goal, should have been a penalty. Norwich managed to put it back to 3-3, and then like in injury time, Van Persie's through on goal. It's an open goal. He gets shoved in the back. Doesn't manage to make contact with the ball. Ref gives a goal kick, and the penalty wasn't given. So we feel a little bit hard done by, but you know, Norwich played really well. You can't take anything away from them. They scored some really nice goals and really gave Arsenal's defence a torrid time. And it's just typical Arsenal, you know. It leaves us in a very tricky position in the Premiership now, because Newcastle have got Man City today, and I've got to be honest, as much as I like Newcastle, because I'm a big fan of Newcastle, one of my best friends is a Newcastle fan, and I really like what they've done this season, but I really hope they lose to Man City, and if they do lose to Man City, 3rd or 4th is pretty much a sure thing for Arsenal. Spurs have got 2 pretty easy games against Fulham and Aston Villa, and Newcastle have got Man City and Everton. So Newcastle have got the toughest 2 games. Arsenal have still got to play West Bromwich Albion. You would expect a win from them, but you never know with Arsenal. Like I say, it's just Arsenal do this thing time and time again where they get themselves into decent positions and then just screw themselves over by just lack of concentration and just, you know, really bad football, I guess, which is what we're playing at the moment. We haven't won in 4 Premiership games, and before that we hadn't lost in 12, so we could have consolidated 3rd spot, but we're throwing it away. So if Arsenal manage to finish in the top 4 and finish 3rd, I hope Chelsea win a Champions League. I couldn't care less if Spurs or Newcastle do or don't get into the Champions League in that instance. Although if Newcastle do manage to get in the top 4 and don't make it to the Champions League, that would be devastating for them. However, if Arsenal finish 4th, I hope I hope Chelsea don't win the Champions League, because then obviously Arsenal get the 4th Champions League spot. If Arsenal finish in 5th, I again really hope Chelsea don't win the Champions League, because if Chelsea win the Champions League when Arsenal come in 5th, that means 4th spot gets the Europa League place and Arsenal do not. It'll be 4th spot, the FA Cup and the League Cup. Although Chelsea got that, maybe it will be the 5th spot. Didn't really think that through. But yeah, bottom line is, if Arsenal finish 3rd, happy days for Chelsea. Hope they win it. If Arsenal finish 4th, I really hope Bayern Munich win it. And I know that's super selfish, but you know, I'm an Arsenal fan first and foremost, and got to be happy for what's best for my club and the club I support. You know, most importantly and primarily. And just on the subject of sport, it's currently 4:32 in the morning. My eyes are pretty heavy. I've just been playing Call of Duty with El De Niro, and I've decided to make. I didn't decide to make this video. I'm going to be making this video anyway. Going to be uploading today with Cal Freezy. I've also got a pretty awesome series coming out with AA9 Skills. If you guys have ever seen my League of Their Own series, it's going to be pretty much that, but between the 2 of us, where we both take teams for cheap and show you what you can do with a team that is that cheap. So look out for that. That's going to be uploaded on Monday. And then we've also got an awesome show coming for you Monday, guys. I'm not quite sure how much I'm allowed to talk about it in this video, but it's only obviously 24 hours away by the time you're listening to this. So I'll find out whether or not I'm allowed to put links and stuff in the description for this, and if I am, then I will, and if I'm not, then you'll have to wait until Monday daytime to find out what's going to be happening. But it's going to be really awesome, and I'm sure you guys are going to absolutely love it, and I cannot wait to do it. I've not been as excited for a project in a long time. But yeah, so on the sport note, by the way, I passed it to Rui Fonte there because I'm looking to score as many goals as possible with Rui Fonte. Again, here, I could have just shot that, no problem, but I love the guy. You know, he's an ex-Arsenal player. He's got 3-star skills in this game. Silver striker, playing awesome for me. I think at the end of this game, at the end of this episode, if I don't actually show his footage, if I don't show the footage of him, I think he scored 23 goals in 9 games. which is amazing. I love the guy. He's done really well for me on Ultimate Team so far. But yeah, so I'm just about to watch the Floyd Mayweather versus Cotto fight. I'm a huge Floyd Mayweather fan. I find it weird that a lot of people dislike him because he's easily in the top 5 boxers of all time, easily. His technique, his rhythm, his style, his power, his counter punches are just incredible. I was kind of gutted when he retired a few years back because I really wanted to see him fight Pacquiao, which I don't ever think will happen. It's just one of those things. But I also want to see him fight Amir Khan, who's fighting Peterson again in, I think, next month or maybe in 6 weeks' time. Peterson's the guy that, in my opinion, wrongly took the title from Amir Khan, the WBA. Light heavyweight. Is it light heavyweight or is it lightweight? It's obviously, what am I talking about? I'm so tired. It's not light heavyweight, as if Amir Khan is a light heavyweight. So lightweight, or maybe, yeah, lightweight. Let's go with lightweight. It's probably wrong, I don't care. Yeah, Peterson took the fight from Amir Khan, took the belt from him. So Amir Khan rightfully got his rematch, and I'm sure Khan will win. And if Khan wins, and Mayweather will almost definitely win tonight, I put my house on it, then I can't see anything other than a Mayweather-Khan fight, which is something I really wanted to happen before Mayweather retired, and as Khan was growing in stature as a fighter over the last 2 or 3 years. I'm a massive fan of boxing, by the way, guys. If you didn't know that, it's not really something I talk about. I love like MMA, boxing, and kind of just aggressive sports, I guess. They're pretty awesome. But this video is coming towards the end now, guys. Just a little info on this game that we're playing here. So I play against this guy, and it's a very even game. It's the most difficult, I say the most difficult game I've had so far. I mean, the one where I was losing 5-3 was a pretty difficult game, but this one was one of those games that was just really open, back and forth between the two of us. And it finishes 4-all. Apologies if I ruined that for you there, but yeah, it finishes 4-all. And just as we get to the menu to choose extra time or penalties, the game freezes and I lose connection to the EA servers and I get a loss for it. So my record at the end of this game is 8-0-1, even though I've played 10 games and I've not actually lost, because the game I was losing, the guy disconnected, and this game where I was drawing, I disconnected, which is pretty annoying. But I'm really enjoying this series, and hopefully you guys are too. So if you could put this up to 1,000 likes again, that would be awesome. Don't forget to check out Calfreezy's channel. I'm going to leave his link in the description. And excuse me, apologies. And just generally, guys, thank you all very much for watching. I really appreciate your support. You guys are absolutely amazing. Don't forget to check out my Twitter. I say don't forget way too much. I need to change some stuff in my commentaries. I need to make these things different, exciting as hell. But yeah, guys, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Jizz.